And hello everybody, welcome back. For StarCraft 2 action, we have Deer and Lemon going up against Goblin and uThermal in a 2v2 matchup. And of course, some of you might have already guessed that this is from the uThermal 2v2 Cups, the January edition. I asked uThermal if you could send me some of the replays. And of course, after a short break, finally found some time to do some more casting. Actually, I was in the chair this morning at the dentist. And before that, I don't know why, I watched like a small news bit on Guantanamo Bay, and I was just lying there getting tortured for like 20 minutes because of my teeth, which is, you know, not real torture, but still unpleasant. And I thought, what am I doing with my life? Should really be casting some StarCraft 2. So here we are, and let's look at what we have. We, of course, have Goblin playing the Protoss pieces with uThermal playing the Terran pieces. So, a Terran Protoss going for a low ground wall here with double gateway, double racks into Deer and Lemon Zerg Protoss combination. And this Zerg does have a hatchery down. It's going for the gas pool afterwards, whereas this Protoss is going for main base gateways, double gateway, however. And so, let's look. Goblin hasn't scouted the main, but as is tradition, the Protoss player has to scout. I used to play a lot of 2v2 with friends of mine, and then also when I was suffering from 1v1 ladder anxiety. I don't know, sometimes you just feel like you're not, like, your hands are not moving the way you want to, and you hate losing, so then you just play some 2v2, because 1v1, too scary, but 2v2, I still get to play my favorite game, but I don't have to be so uptight about the ladder points, you know? Especially when unranked wasn't a thing yet, and I mean, unranked still kind of has like a hidden MMR. This is a pretty interesting wall, though, from uThermal and a Goblin. We do see the double Reaper, triple Reaper coming out here. So uThermal doing what he does best, and that's making some Reapers. See if he gets +1 with that as well. Double Adept going across the map. So these guys already super aggressive. First Reaper already in the mineral line here. Sprawlcrawler being made. And I don't know if Deer and Lemon know what's up here. Speed is coming up, but another drone is coming out. Are we going to see an extra Queen here? Because this is 2 Reapers already. Stalkers for Lemon are coming out. Those are going to be really nice to try and deal with the opposing units coming in here. 2 Adepts also shading in. I think we're going to do most of this set zoomed out because you just want to see as much as possible. Do see the Nexus coming out here for Lemon as well. This one Reaper might die. Did see 1 Adept going down there from a Goblin. These Stalkers probably doing a good job. And 1 Shade. Where did it go? Goes into the main here. This Adept even gets a kill on the probe, but more Reapers coming in here at the bottom. And uThermal just not stopping. Can't stop, won't stop. Making more Reapers right now. Has 8 already, making 3 more at a time. Lots of Speedlings on the map, though. But they also have to follow around these Shades. Do see Lemon committing into more Stalkers. Does he have anything else? No, he's just making Stalkers out of 2 gateways here. So you can see the Goblin and uThermal really making it work for it. These Lings committing to try and find a nice surround on those Reapers, but can't find it. And now these Adepts get into the main as well here for Deer. Couple drones do lay down their lives. And oh my god, that's so many Reapers. Get on top of the 1 Queen. And third base now does finish here for Deer. But how many drones does he have left? 23 drones. 32 pros for Lemon, though. He's looking pretty peachy. But only now just starting up the Twilight console. His tech is a little behind. It's just more Reapers are coming out. +1 attacks now finally dropping. And what do we have for Goblin? We do have a Robo and a bunch of sentries here as well. So they are preparing a follow-up push here with the Robo units. Do see a Twilight console coming out for Goblin as well. So behind all of this pressure, Goblin and uThermal do have a follow-up plan. It's called 5 Reapers at a time with +1. Now, we've seen uThermal do this in 1v1 in the past versus just Zerg, but apparently in 2v2, You can also just do it against the Protoss Zerg combination. Of course, there's a lot of speculation out there about what is the best combination of races. I never really found out. I played it a lot. It feels like double anything is either really busted or really weak. It feels like Terran is almost always good in 2v2. And like Zerg feels good with Terran, but feels terrible with Protoss for some reason. But that's just my personal opinion. If you care to share a different one, I'd love to hear about it. This is all just us preparing ourselves for the big matches that come up later to see what's really going on in 2v2, how the meta shapes up. We do see Deer finally exploding into the drone count. He's getting Burrow as well. He has an Evo chamber, has yet to get any upgrades from it though. Do see a lair halfway done, and a War Prism is coming out, and the army from Goblin is also coming out to play. Lots of uThermal Reapers here. They are ready to play. They can one-shot Stalkers, and they can almost one-shot 2 Stalkers at a time. That's how much damage these puppies dish out versus the Stalkers of Lemon. Lemon does have the blink, actually, but doesn't have a lot of Stalkers left remaining. No shield battery here, and Goblin's here with the 3 Immortals. Plonks down a bunch of force fields, making sure that this third base of Lemon is just completely forfeited. Now the Reapers try and get a little bit of action going here into the main base. 2 pylons here. Nice Artosis and Tasteless pylon. Nice job, but now Goblin moves into the... well, is it a center field zone of their opponents? I'm not sure. Oh, the Lynx do come in, and it's only Lynx that Deer brings to the table. Lemon blinks over the force fields, trying to support the Lynx, but the Immortals eat them for breakfast. The Reapers stand tall, and with that +1 attack, they just start doing so much damage. uThermal in the back is transitioning into just clean bio, but Lemon and Deer have to call GG. And that is how 2v2 is played in the current age of 2025, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been playing StarCraft since 2010, or even before that, maybe you had a beta key, that means you're just old. I'm sorry. But game's still fun, and 2v2 just brings that extra layer. And pretty keen to find out how it is played. Here we did see that a big thing in 2v2 is that when one player from the opposing side is aggressing, both players kind of have to respond. So think about the couple Reapers at the start with the 2 Adepts. Both the Zerg had to have speed links, and the Protoss also had to have some Stalkers, because both these Reapers and the Adepts can just run around all of your bases, and it's pretty hard to defend all of them. Especially the Zerg feels really bad if you are the one that has to make like 20 lings to defend all of those units, because that means you have 0 drones. And the Protoss, I mean, a Protoss player just doesn't make that many units early, so it's really hard to defend, especially if you don't wall in against this type of stuff. These Reapers, of course, are still gonna find some place to get in, but it's only this wall, apparently. So, well, and you have this ramp, of course, going in, but I guess if you wall this ramp, you can actually deal with the Reapers a little better, but the Adepts are still going to be a problem. I do like that forward hatchery, getting the creep over here to deal with the Reaper and Adept a little bit more effectively. But still, Goblin and uThermal kind of outclassing Lemon and Deer here, but I'm keen to see what both teams bring game number 2. And for game number 2, we load up into Reclamation. LE, Goblin, and uThermal spawning in the bottom with their Protoss Terran going for a low ground wall once again. This is, of course, 2v2 map that has been in the pool for a little bit, I think, since 2019-ish. This is quite a few years. The other map that we saw in the first game was Breakwater, if I don't remember correctly. That one doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, which leads me to believe that it's relatively new to the map pool. Any of the 2v2 enjoyers can correct me. Now we do see uThermal Goblin going for that low ground wall again. Let's see if they go for another early pressure and what Deer and Lemon have planned this game. Do see another hatch first. of course, pretty common on 2v2 maps is that you do get your natural in like a shared location and then with 1 or 2, sometimes 3 rams, but entrances that you can try and defend together. But some maps are just crazy. Old maps even put you in your own main and then your own natural, and then you had to still connect to your opponent or to your teammate. But that really opens up 2v1ing, which is super strong, obviously. If you just can double up on one dude, like you can contain one person and just attack the other with 2 armies. That is really strong. So maps, try and make sure that doesn't happen. Ooh, super early. Nexus coming out here. And Goblin and uThermal do know about that quick Nexus. Can they do something about that? I'm sorry, the camera's a little wonky, but Goblin also has a pretty fast Nexus. And their opponents also know about it. So both players, or both teams, I must say, are scouting each other out. uThermal going for a Reaper, then Factory behind that from the 1 gas. So a bit more of a economic opener. It's always interesting to see, does the Terran go for mech or bio? Because when I was watching this live, uThermal was kind of saying like, sometimes it feels really bad to get stuck into mech, but sometimes you kind of have to. Just have enough siege tanks and Hellions to deal with the aggression that some armies can bring on. Ooh, Goblin with the body blocks on that probe, killing that drone that really wanted to become a 3rd base. And now, this is where that 2-base Zerging comes into play. If you're an old school Zerg, you're fine with being on 2-base a little longer, you know? Throw down that lair, throw down that Roach Warren, we good. But these new age Zergs, bro, they just want that hatchery ASAP. CC does come up. We do have the reactor as well, and here comes some Hellions. That feels pretty standard. Like, just having a Reaper does go down, though, into having some Hellions, especially against Zerg. Just gives you a lot of map control. Also, you get some scouting with that. And here we see another staple from, I feel like, 2v2 is that starport tech on the Protoss. If you get one Oracle, means that this Terran has to have either turrets or mines or a cyclone or something to defend against it. And this Protoss as well has to have shield batteries, has to have stalkers back. That one Oracle makes both players react. And the same with the Hellions, but they are ground-based, so you can kind of muster a defense together at choke points. Ooh, the Oracle does find the Hellions and will expend its laser beams onto the Hellions here. Do the Hellions get any good shots? Do see 2 probes, 3 probes, 4 probes going down, but the Hellions do get shredded. More Hellions coming out, though. Another thing in 2v2 is that because you are teammates, you can give each other money. And sometimes you do see those feeding strats with one player having a big surplus in one of the resources, giving it to the other player. You see it a lot with Protoss, just getting them to have like 2 or 3 Stargate Phoenix. Lings do get in. Nice surround on the Hellions. The Widow Mine. Oh, that was a big hit, but the Stalker's still alive. Goblin, nice micro. These Lings still getting a couple SCV kills there. And some Hellions did go across the map. I did not see them do any damage. We might have lost or not seen that. A couple probes going down now as well because of these oracles. Oh my god. It's very hard to keep track of all of the action, so sorry for the janky cast every couple seconds, or sometimes I'll just kind of be flabbergasted by what is happening. But we'll get better, we'll get better. War Prism comes in with the Dark Templar here. Goblin! That's a dirty boy. Going for a DT rush. Same principle applies. If you get DT rushed in 1v1, you can defend it. But if you get DT rushed in 2v2, 2 people have to defend it. Or 2 persons have to. Oh, these Hellions are getting some nice trades. Blue Flame as well. Lots of drones going down. And these Lings, they just have to give their life for their droney friends. Now we do see Dark Templar still trying to run around, get some snipes going. And they are still alive. Do you see 5 probes have died, 1 SCV, 10 probes and 10 drones, but 12 Hellions have died. You can pause there if you need to know. More Hellions coming in. Oh my god, this feels like a 1v1, alright. The Hellions just don't stop, they never stop. You make more drones and more lings, and then you lose all the lings and more drones, so you just stuck in the Stone Age, dude. This looks a lot like Game 1, where Deer just couldn't get out of the make Zerglings mode. He does have 4 hatcheries on the map, but he literally just has how many drones? 48 drones, and he just doesn't have gas. I guess he's mining some gas. And what is he spending it on? Oh, he goes for an infestation pit. Might go for quick ultras or just infestors. AoE, very good in 2v2. And I have rambled ages and ages and ages about getting mass Widowmine in 2v2. Against Protoss Zerg, I would do that in a heartbeat. It's very fun, and your teammate can kind of make up for the lack of cohesion in your composition. Because you can kind of see it as 2 armies, or you can see it as one big army where you make a part of it. And if you think about Biomine, for example, if you're Protoss ally in this sense, just makes all the bio, you can make all the mines, right? Oh my god, these Hellions again, dude. Oh, poor Deer. He's only making Zerglings, dude. Oh my god, at this point you just want to wall this in completely. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4 spine crawlers. Evo chamber, 5th spine crawler. Just leave me alone, goddammit. At this point it's probably worth it. Look at how many drones has Deer lost. 19 drones have died to the 23 Hellions. Maybe it's okay. Oh, more Hellions coming out. uThermal, try a different angle, bro. Does lose all of the Hellions this time around. But oh my god, look at Goblin. He's been building up an army, alright. Observer giving all of the vision, but the Lings doing a good job tanking a little bit for these Stalkers. And now Lemon Stalkers do move in and try and go for a nice engagement. A little bit of miscommunication. Lemon is pulling back here because of the DT, whereas Deer trying to go for the attack. How are the upgrades looking? Both Lemon and Goblin have +1/+1 for Deer as well. These DTs just going crazy. We do have the Overseer making sure that they can deal with the DT. 4th base for Lemon is looking pretty good. 4 bases for that Protoss versus the 3 of Lemon, and supplies still looking pretty good. Oh my god, Goblin getting caught here by 2 armies versus 1, but soon he can blink out. Does blink out, but that was a big loss there for Goblin. Going out of... well, yeah, moving out onto the map into the mass Ling of Deer. And it seems to be working out. The Ultras are coming up. We see Baneling speed as well. +2 melee. No Carapace upgrades. No way, Jose. And look at uThermal. How many tanks? 5 tanks. Just setting up a line here as siege tanks. They're AoE. They're pretty good at defending bases. And oh, nice drop here from uThermal. A little bit of that 1v1 flair. Like, I used to play 1v1, you know, I won an IM or so. People used to think I was a good player. Still do. Going for the double drops, and this, again, this is like, both players have to react to this. The threat's always there, and now we do get this drop over here as well. And if we look at the supplies, Goblin a little behind now, just getting his 4th base, whereas Lemon already has had his 4th base for a little bit here. Here come the Ultralisks. They still look big to me. Even getting the Ultralisk armor now. We don't have any Carapace upgrades. Just 1 Evo chamber. 2nd one is now coming out. We do see the Baneling speed as well. Would love some Infestors. Just share control with your ally and just give him like put an Infestor here, put one here. You can even burrow them. Like, Infestors are so good. But of course, that would require a lot more economy. Whereas, I think, our Zerg, 76 drones? Decent amount. Can make a lot of ultras on that. What are Lemon and Deer gonna do here? Their color combinations are kind of triggering, honestly. I wish it was just dark blue and light blue versus like red and orange. Oh, nice Phoenix. Oh, that's so nice. Making sure that medevac can't do anything. Double Liberator goes in. uThermal goes for the scan and then also runs in with this drop. Lemon perhaps overextending on the map a little bit. Goes into a fight with Goblin here. But there is tank backup. Both sides do have +2. And Lemon, ooh, gets another Stalker picked off. His Zerg opponent or opponent teammate wasn't there to support. Bruv, if you were together there, I feel like you would have just crushed. But instead, we see Deer does get a nice crush on that planetary. Bruv, you can just retreat. And Lemon does get time to save his 5th base. Ooh, dude, Deer and Lemon are taking big portions of the map, out-expanding their opponents here in Goblin and uThermal. But Goblin and uThermal army does look pretty good. Stalker Immortal versus Ling Altar with some Banes. That doesn't seem fun. Oh no, his army, Goblin, your army's out of position, bro. Look out. Luckily, Deer's too afraid. uThermal going for bio without any medevacs, just using the medevacs to do drops and get liberators. And that starport just can't produce enough. Oh, Lemon, nice position. You can't just walk up that ramp. One does not simply walk up a ramp in 2025. But bio's still pretty strong. The threat of Stim is here. Lots of siege tanks on the map. Now 16 siege tanks, +1 about to finish. The Zerg runs down if he goes into this choke without his ally. Oh no, Deer runs into the siege line and the entire army of Goblin, but Lemon not quite there to support. And oh my god, it's a meat grinder and a half. All of these siege tanks just shelling down that Zerg. Oh, that was not the fight. And now uThermal and Goblin pounce onto the 4th base of Lemon here. Shut down the 4th base. Shut down that rich geyser. And with that, the 4th base of the Zerg is also in peril. We do see some disruptors coming out for Lemon, but this might just be a little too late. We see some more Ultralisks coming out of Deer, but he's thrown away a lot of his. No run by here either. This base has been reestablished, so Lemon and Deer still have some money in the tank, but they need time. They need time here to get the disruptors out, to get the Ultralisks out, and to get a nice fight. Oh, Lemon walks in to try and snipe the Immortal, but walks into a bunch of siege tanks. Now we do have some nice disruptors. Maybe Lemon can hold. Deer on the bottom side here has to hold as well. Divide and Conquer is coming into play here. Goblin forcing Lemon out of position, forcing him to defend the 5th base, which is now his 4th base. But for that, the disruptors are all alone, and these siege tanks are going to be put in a beautiful position. I watched the stream. Goblin even pinged this location. It was, put your siege tanks here. Put them there. Put them there. Create a nice corridor of death. And now both players are 2v1ing Lemon, where Deer just kind of sitting with his army here is like, when can I join? But they are driving a, what is it, a wig? Like they're driving like a piece of wood in between the both of them. Lemon and Deer, their armies are not together. Maybe they can catch some reinforcements, but this siege line does run deep. And oh, Lemon with the Stalkers does get a lot of siege tanks here. Now, this is a nice move from Deer. Gets 2 siege tanks, 3, 4, goes for 5, but now gets greedy. Chunks in all of the Ultralisks, and 2 of them already down, 1 more remaining. All of them are dead. The Stalkers were there to support. Another disruptor. Oh, it misses. There's only a couple of Stalkers, 2 siege tanks here, but their economy has been gutted behind this Liberator harassment. Deer barely has any economy remaining, and now these Stalkers really have to put in the work. This Ultralisk is running in, trying to do as much as possible. Zealots and Immortal make sure that is not going to happen, and now only Lemon remaining. Zerglings are triggering out for Deer. And Lemon wants to keep his bases alive, but he's lost the 4th, he's lost the 3rd, and now his 5th. He can defend it with the Stalkers. But Goblin is here to come and put an end to that. uThermal is in the last mining base of Deer. This 3rd base barely mining at all for Deer. So Deer probably out of this game for now. Does make a couple Ultralisk with his last money. Nice blink in, gets the Immortal. And behind this, Goblin still only on 4 bases and uThermal on 3, so they must be running out of steam at some point. But can Lemon and Deer hold on for dear life to try and make that happen? These drones just want to mine, but these Marines do not let them mine. And oh no, Lemon and Deer can't quite hold on, even though Lemon still had this base. Deer just... I don't know, he was just obsessed with taking this one. Maybe could have retaken that one. But honestly, if you look at uThermal supply, that was probably going to be very difficult. And they do tap out. That means it is a 2-0 victory for Goblin and uThermal on 2v2. All that I learned from this series is that it's constant action, and that as soon as you leave your opponent alone to defend on his own, stuff is about to get real rough if you don't have, like, something to compensate. Like, if you are rushing something, it has to be very strong. Like, if you are rushing an Oracle or two, then maybe your opponent can defend with some extra lings, but then you have to get some counter damage, force your opponent to get, like, turrets or mines or something to defend against all of those Oracles. And very nice maneuvering. I felt like Lemon and Deer actually put Goblin and uThermal in a corner here when, like, we had the ling run by in the natural, and the third even killed the PF. And then we had a decent fight here as well, catching Goblin's army, but then this fight with the super long siege line of uThermal, like the siege line of dreams, like a Chinese wall of siege tanks, was just draped around the middle of the map. Kind of like a chess match where, like, taking the center of the map is just a good strategy. uThermal and Goblin just had that on lock, and then Deer just A-moved it in there. And Lemon just couldn't quite back him up enough. And the siege line, like, it just ran too deep. I just annihilated all of the lings and the ultras. And from that point on, they could just pierce their way through the armor into the heart of their opponent's economy. And Goblin and uThermal take this best of 3, 2-0. And I hope you guys enjoyed this 2v2 casting. I'm going to try and do a couple more before I return back to the Home Story Cup games. Now that there's a little bit of a lull in my coverage of that. It's just not that topical anymore, or not like recent games anymore. So I feel like it's not a problem to do them a little later. You know, life got in the way. I had my birthday, so now I'm level 31, which is crazy. I think I picked this game up when I was 16. Changed my life, honestly. And now I'm still excited to watch it every day. Bonkers. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to cover a bunch of the 2v2 Cup. If he keeps doing it, I'm going to try and get involved. I don't think he'd want me to cast it live, but I'm honestly a little afraid to ask. But I'm definitely going to ask for the replays and do some replay casting. So I hope you guys enjoy this little shakeup. 2v2. We're going to learn together how the 2v2 meta is shaping up in 2025 and how the casting on that shit is done, because this is just bonkers. It's just consistent play-by-play. It's just, this is happening, this is dying, this is dying, this is dying. Like, I just have to, like, kind of spot the strategy from afar. Like, I just look at the top left. Like, oh, he's building a Dark Shrine. I can hopefully mention that before it's finished, whilst screaming about the stuff dying. Okay, that was all the yapping for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the gap in uploads again. It's just life. Life's been rough. Hope you guys have a nice day. Have a nice 2025. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Also, the links are down below, and watch uThermal's video on his entire run. It's a very funny, very good video. First link in the description. Cheers.